Hey guys, welcome in. Today we're looking at the Nintendo Switch 2 release trailer. It's not very long. I'm sure a lot of people have done this better than me, but you gotta react to a brand new console release. You can't ignore it. So I'm going to play it without saying anything right away, and then I'm gonna give my thoughts after it plays through. I haven't watched it yet. Unfortunately, I have to play it muted because I don't want Nintendo's lawyers coming after me. So let's just watch it and see what's up. See what the rumors got right and wrong. Okay. Nice. Oh, there's still some left of this. I thought that would be the end of it. Okay, gameplay. Okay, and there we have it. That was the Nintendo Switch 2 first look trailer. Now I'm going to watch it again and give my thoughts as we go through. Like I said, I'm not an expert or anything. I'm not an industry analyst. I'm not a reporter. I'm not a journalist. I'm not a developer. Just a dude who likes video games, who's excited for new consoles. So, if you're looking for expert analysis, not the guy to come to. If you're looking for a dude that's probably just pretty excited, then you are in the right place. And why don't you come along? We'll have some fun. So here's the old one, obviously, right? Then it gets supersized. It looks like it gets longer than taller. It does look like it's got some chunky bezels, at least on the side. The top ones aren't as thick, but the side bezels are thick boys. I think that's just showing that it's rounder. Okay, and then so that was USB-C on the bottom. We've got the controls on the top, and then this is interesting, USB-C on the top too. I'm hoping you can charge with both of those, or I'm wondering if they're gonna try and sell like unique Nintendo accessories that need to be plugged into one of them. You never know with Nintendo; they're innovators for sure. So if this was any other company, this would concern me because this looks so flimsy to me. It looks like so thin, but Nintendo's hardware is pretty legit, other than the Joy-Con drift trouble that they had. But since it is Nintendo, I'm not too worried about this. I think it'll be fine. But man, look how much that stretches. I'm just imagining if you're setting it on a table like this all the time, as things naturally wear out. But again, it's Nintendo, so hopefully it'll be cool. I think it will. Okay, and then we've got all black, and it gets bigger. I wonder what this button is. Oh, there's one over here too. I wonder, are these the pairing buttons? What are these? Then we've got this, instead of red, they went with like a salmon-y color. Sort of pastel light blue color. Like a, I'm not a color person, but like a brighter version of cyan. We got the normal buttons. I'm hoping those are holofacts, but I mean, I don't know for sure. I think the rumors said they were, so that'd be great. So we could avoid the Joy-Con drift. And I think this is them showing off the mouse functionality thing that they can do. I think it's interesting that the console itself is colored on the sides and not just the attachments. But, you know, that could just be like a sort of intro to UI kind of thing, like, hey, salmon connects to salmon, blue connects to blue. See, this is where I thought it was going to end, but then they keep going. It's like two commercials in one. I wouldn't be surprised if one of these ends up on the Super Bowl, though. Okay, so we've got Mario Kart, and it looks like it's Luigi's track, which is funny considering current events in America. Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Yoshi, Princess Toad. Mario looks a little different. He looks a little more, I don't know, uh, rounder maybe, cuter, chibi-ish. Maybe they're going for that look of like the um, sort of remastered, um, not remastered, remade Zelda game. But it doesn't have that like diorama vibe. But he looks less like a human and more round to me. Bowser looks bigger to me, but I that could just be I haven't played Mario Kart in a long time, but he does look a little bigger than he used to me. And I think this is interesting that it sits above the dock instead of just being flush with it. I still don't know what these buttons are. These little squares. Maybe they're just for pairing. It's got a controller. There's DK. I haven't watched this trailer yet, but I did see everyone talking about him. I guess I think he looks like the movie version. There's Wario. Diner. There's a turbo pad. Oh, look, there's another car. There's a truck. So this has like a Route 66 Cars films Pixar vibe. Yoshi's Diner. What do you think Yoshi serves at a diner? Is it just eggs? Nothing but eggs? I'm kind of curious. This looks, if this is an actual course, it could just be a mock up, just made for this commercial. If this is an actual course, it looks very straight, like incredibly straight for a Mario Kart game. But maybe when it gets up to this sort of mushroomy canyon thing, it turns right. But that would be a long straightaway. Oh, Yoshi's Diner kind of looks like Yoshi. Do you see that? It's got two eyes, some eyebrows, and a mouth. I don't see any power ups. I mean, I saw the speed up pad, launch pad, whatever those are called, but I don't see any of the blocks. Like semi truck. And then this makes me think. Oh, that looks more like a dirt road. I was wondering if that was a um, train crossing, but it doesn't look like it is. It looks like it's just a dirt road, which is kind of interesting because it goes side to side through the screen and then it goes towards the distance and then off again. This is a weird map for a Mario Kart level, if it's in the game. Like I said, it could just be a like a mock-up they did just for this commercial, but I don't know. It's a weird Mario Kart map. Okay, it does turn just a little. See, it goes straight, and then it goes right, and then curves back left. And I'm guessing it goes over here somewhere. Huh. Okay, but this is still a pretty long straightaway. You have to wonder what happens if you go off these paths too. 2025, no month. Then it says Nintendo Switch 2 plays both physical and digital Nintendo Switch games. Certain Nintendo Switch games may not be supported or fully compatible with Nintendo Switch 2. Details will be shared on the Nintendo website at a later date. Games and systems sold separately. So I'm guessing that means it's not Mario Kart isn't included. I was thinking Mario Kart might be included with it, which would have been cool. And this is where it ends. Oh, and then they've got a direct scheduled for April. I'm assuming that's April. I mean, it could be February 4th, but I'm assuming it's April 2nd. Different people write their calendar days different ways depending on where you live. Series of hand-on events held around the world. For details, check the official Nintendo website. Okay, and then it starts over. All in all, I would say pretty cool, right? Um, I like to be excited about things, so that's where I am with it. I don't want to be negative on it. The all black makes me think of the Wii U, which I don't know if that's a good thing. I do like that it's not glossy and that it's not completely matte, but it's not glossy, and I like that. I do have to wonder if this is the only color it'll come in at launch, and then if eventually if it will come in other colors. It'll have to, right? Because you think they could sell more, like how they have specific Zelda versions and all that kind of stuff. I think it's really interesting. They're ditching this like hyper colorful trend that Nintendo usually follows. This is very Xbox, PlayStation kind of vibes, just a mostly all black, sleek. And you have to wonder, is the screen? This might be on IGN or something. I don't know. I have to wonder if the screen's OLED or just LED. And then if it's OLED, you have to wonder about the price. And when it comes to price, you have to wonder, if how many of these parts are made in China. Because, like, if any of the parts are made in China, then the tariffs are going to hit this super hard. So I would hope for it. Well, I mean, in a perfect world, 350. I would expect in a 2024 world that this would be 399. But in a 2025 world with tariffs, who knows, man? Like, if any of this is made in China and it's got a 70% tariff on it, I mean, the price could be anything. Like 500, 600, 700, who knows? I'm assuming their original plan was 399. That would be my guess. But you can't plan for those tariffs. So who knows? Like I said, it could be anything. Especially, like I said, if any of the parts are made in China. Let's see. Anything else I noticed? Like I said, the USB-C thing's interesting. I'll be interested to see if you can charge from both. I like that it still has a normal headphone jack. I still don't know what those square buttons do. Like I said, maybe they're to pair it, or maybe you hold them down since they're magnets, and that's like the demagnetize button, right? If you wanted to take the Joy-Con off, maybe you just hold that square for a little bit, and then it like, I don't know, turns off the magnet. But if that's the case, and they're electrically controlled magnets, you would have to assume that that would drain the battery over time, right? Because they couldn't just, it's not free energy. So I would wonder what the drain on the battery is if that magnet's powered all the time, or magnets on each side. I think it's interesting they've gone from like a sort of vibrant, colorful red and blue to a pastel salmon light blue look. And they even, well, I'm not going to scroll back, but even the lighting on that last image showed that. And I think it's interesting, it sits above the dock. I wonder if there's a reason for that, or if it just saves money, like if it's just cheaper to make the dock as small as possible, or if they're going to try and make it like a sort of a cell phone and have like notifications on there and stuff. Like, maybe you'll get invites to games. If you're not online, it'll show up there like, hey, your buddy John Doe is playing Mario Kart. Do you want to play Mario Kart? Um, like I said, I'm assuming it's just standard LED. It would be cool if it was OLED, but I think OLED would make it more expensive. And then when you add in the tariffs, there's just almost no way. Uh, I'm assuming Mario Kart is the launch game. I can't imagine they would put it in their very first trailer if it's not the launch game, but you never know with Nintendo. I'm wondering when the release date is. They're going to talk about it in April, um, June, July, probably. I wonder if they'll have a presentation at Summer Games Fest, or since they're Nintendo, if they'll just do their own thing. Like, obviously, they're doing their direct in April, but I'm wondering if they'll want to show it off again at Summer Games Fest, or like I said, since it's Nintendo, they may just skip it. You know, they may want to let third parties handle it at Summer Games Fest. Be like, hey, look at all these games that are coming to Switch 2. And they wouldn't even have to officially be there, but they'd still be the talk of the town, kind of. I wonder how many remakes we're going to get. Remasters. We'll probably get a lot of remasters from every Nintendo system ever, like that Donkey Kong one we just got. Obviously, what I would want is a Zelda remaster or remake of some kind. I assume Breath of the Wild and stuff, and its sequel, Tears of the Kingdom, will just run better. I don't expect a remaster for those. Maybe they'll do like a texture pack or something. But I would also assume within the next year we'll finally either get a Windwaker remaster, or if Wishers Were Fishes, an Ocarina of Time remaster remake. That would be so cool. I just don't know, since they already remade it once or remastered it once for the 3DS. They may just port it over with like higher res um, textures and stuff. But I would, in my dream world, we would get a complete remaster or remake of Ocarina because it's my favorite. Well, Majora's Mask is really good too, but I don't know. And then I don't know where Metroid fits into this schedule. I like Metroid, but I know it doesn't sell as well as a lot of people want it to. But if it was one of the only launch games, it probably would. That may be how you get people into Metroid. Because if Switch 2 comes out and there's only, 2 or 3 exclusive Nintendo games for a few months, people are going to pick up all of those, especially to stream and stuff. And then you would have people streaming Metroid. Yeah, that might be the way to go. That might be a good idea. Because then you get more eyes on it, and it's basically free advertising because Twitch streamers are going to want to play the Switch 2 because it's new. And if one of the only games to play is Metroid, then they'd be playing Metroid. And more people would see Metroid, and more people would want to play Metroid. So maybe that's what they'll do. Maybe Metroid will be either a launch game or real close to launch. Who knows? But then you don't want Mario Kart to overshadow it either. But Mario Kart's kind of like the +1 game. Like everyone just gets Mario Kart. You pick up another game and Mario Kart, right? Like I feel like everybody has Mario Kart. It's just sort of a default game you have to get. Like I said, I do think eventually we'll get other colors, bright colors, all sorts of colors from the rainbow, red, blue, all that kind of stuff. And I'm sure some games will get some. We'll probably get like a gold Zelda one eventually, but who knows how long. If it's not OLED, and I don't think it is, you have to wonder how long it'll be till we get an OLED version. And I think the tariffs will play a huge role in that because Nintendo's not going to want to put out a system that's like $900. That's just they're just not going to do that. So if the tariffs would make the console that expensive, they just would skip making an OLED version, I think. And then with the mouse thing, I'm wondering how big of a deal that's going to be. Is that like the gimmick this time around? You know how Nintendo has gimmicks a lot of the time, or I wonder if it's so they can port over Wii games and instead of controlling with the motion, if you control it with the mouse. Like if you're playing Mario Galaxy and instead of pointing it at the screen, you would control it with one of the Joy Cons, and then the other one you could use the joystick. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, they wouldn't show it off if it wasn't important, but maybe they're just doing that for third-party games too. But I have to wonder like what the like polling rate is on it and stuff, and how good it is, because you don't want to be hoping for precision and then you're like on an airplane using a beige tray and it's got bumps and it's textured and it can't pick up the signal real well. So I don't know. We'll have to see that. I know Metroid is a well, I guess it hasn't been announced for the Switch too. Um, I'm assuming Metroid is a dual generation release, and if it is, I wonder if they're planning on people playing that with the mouse. If it was any other company, I would assume so. But since it's Nintendo, they've probably built it from the ground up to play a specific way on the Switch, and they may not want to uh, add in another control scheme layer with the mouse. Um, so who knows? I mean, there's so many unanswered questions right now. Part of the problem is, all this stuff has been rumored for like 5 years. I don't know how long it's been, 2, 3 years, but it's pretty much all what we expected, right? It's a bigger, better Switch. I think the sort of all black, less colorful thing wasn't expected. And I think most of the other stuff was. You kind of hoped or expected another USB C, and you hoped it would be bigger. And there were rumors of the mouse. I mean, I wasn't hoping for a mouse, but there were rumors of it. You hope that the joysticks are Holofax. That's the big one, and I guess that's it. I have to wonder, going back to the mouse thing, like what games would be the best for that? Because it would be wireless, so there would be input delay. So probably not first-person shooters. Like I doubt they're going to put people are going to be playing Overwatch with it. If I mean, it would depend on how much latency there is. I don't know. That'll just be interesting to see. And I wonder if they're going to make first-party games focus on that, or if it's just a thing that third-party people can do if they want to. Like, are they going to build games around that functionality? I can't imagine so, because it would make it slightly less portable, right? If you had to put the screen down and take the mice off all the time. But it's Nintendo, so who knows? Um, I guess if it wasn't for shooters, like I said, Metroid could go either way since it's coming out on Switch 2. Maybe like cozy games that are so popular it could be good for, or theme park games, city builder games, really any of those like builder type games, Jurassic Park stuff, city skylines. I'm struggling to think of anything else though. I guess maybe if they make another one like a Mario Maker game, you could click and drag, but it's not like people were having a lot of trouble before. So who knows? Maybe it's just a nice thing, like I said, for third party people to have, just to make it easier for them. So yeah, I guess that's about all my thoughts on it. I don't have too much else. Um, I guess I could look at Mario Kart just a little bit more. We'll wait for that to come back around, or no, I'll skip ahead. I mean, I don't have much to say other than that I thought the track looked really interesting. Mario Brothers Circuit. Oh, I thought it was Luigi's Circuit. It's just Luigi's tire. I mean, it looks like a big course. It's really wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's at least like 8 cars wide, which seems insane to me since Mario Kart games are all about rubbing is racing, you know? So who knows? It looks like there's a whole lot of characters. I haven't played Mario Kart 8, so I don't remember how many people were on the track. I don't know if it was like 8 or 16 or 24. I can't imagine it was more than 24 though. Honestly, I don't even know if I can imagine it was 24. I guess I could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18. This one's 24. 24 seems like a lot. Do we actually think that there will be 24? I mean, I wouldn't put the places there if there weren't. I don't know how it's going to handle that online, though. Okay, so this is interesting. This is kind of a different view of the track. Look, it's not as straight here from this high cam view. Instead of seeing Yoshi's diner right up here, this is a completely different. Yoshi's diner is on this other side. Well, no, yeah, because they have to be heading that way. So Yoshi's diner over here is on the left, and instead of going straight, the road curves, but there's blocks up here, and they're forcing you onto the dirt road that goes right, and then takes you to another highway over there. And there are like semi trailers or train trailers. Mario Brothers Circuit. Oh, that's really interesting. I don't know how I didn't notice it changed so much. We've got, let's see. Yeah, so as you can see up here, it's got the arrows pointing right on this part. Then you hit play. They go down the dirt road. And then they cover everything up. And then we're back. Okay, so I thought earlier this was the starting line. So it's not a completely different track. It's the same track, just in different parts. I thought they were coming back up on the starting line. Okay. So this part's still really straight. The other part looked more normal. Looks like a really big track to me. And 24 seems like a lot of characters to me. That's going to get really chaotic, but maybe they go hand in hand. Maybe with a bigger track, you want more people, or maybe with more people, you want a bigger track. With 24 characters, you have to wonder who all's going to be in this game. Are they going to stick to just Nintendo characters? Are they going to do their Smash Brothers thing where they reach out to other devs, and are we going to get like Cloud and Sephiroth in this game? It's possible. You never know. Nintendo has a lot of pool. You know, we could have Snake and Cloud and Sora all racing together in unique cars. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I'm sure that the licensing takes so much work for that, but you know, it's a thought. You have to imagine with that many characters, though, there are going to be like some double ups, like characters that are essentially the same. Like 5 people can play as Toad just because he has like different colored dots. I can't imagine they'd change Mario and Luigi's colors because they're pretty set in stone. Maybe you can wear different outfits to get up to 24 characters. Like 2 people could be Mario and one could be, regular Mario, and one could be like astronaut Mario or cat Mario. Or maybe there are skins. That could be interesting. Since skins make a lot of money. Especially if they sold them separately, which I would not want them to do, but they could. Like, imagine if you're playing this game online and more than one person wants to be Mario, right? To make it visually distinct, one person could be this Mario, one person could be Mario Odyssey Mario, one person could be Metal Mario from Mario 64. You could have regular Bowser, you could have Super Mario RPG Bowser, you could have Peach, regular Peach, and then you could have her with her cool race suit from the movie Peach. You could have Donkey Kong and his whole family as separate skins. Ooh, Diddy Kong. That'd be kind of cool if they brought in characters from Diddy Kong Racing. You gotta love that game. Um, they'll have to do something to get up to if there are 24 characters on every race. They'll need to definitely fill out the roster somehow. And I think skins or color changes, palette swaps would definitely be the way to do that. I still think Bowser looks bigger than normal. He looks even like way bigger than Donkey Kong here. Like Donkey Kong looks big, but Bowser's big, big. And since it says it's sold separately, do I think that it's a launch game? It has to be, right? It has to be. There's no way this isn't a launch game. Surely they wouldn't have shown it in their preview event if it's not. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not an expert, so I don't know. I don't remember if Mario Kart 8 was a launch game for Wii U or Switch. I mean, it seems like it would be a good launch game, but like I said, if they put Metroid out there, I can't imagine launching with Metroid though. I mean, that would get everyone to buy it just because they want a Nintendo, but that seems like a bad call. And I say that as someone that loves Metroid. I think you probably launch with Mario Kart June or July, like I said, and then you could rope in Metroid a couple months later, 6 weeks later. That way, you've sold enough systems and it would sort of force people to pick it up, and that might boost the brand. And you have to imagine, and it's kind of crazy to think about since it's January, but Black Friday, Christmas time, they'll want like a heavy hitter. So you have to imagine that's going to be a Mario game, a Zelda game, or a Pokemon game, right? With Mario being the most likely. I guess they could do like a Donkey Kong game, but I don't know if that would sell as well. And they just released that Donkey Kong remaster. And I hope we get, because it did kind of chug on the Switch, Link's Awakening. I hope with the Switch 2 we finally get the a Link to the Past in that diorama. That would be sick. I would love that. That's like one of my favorite games of all time. I think the two games I dream about most for Nintendo would be the A Link to the Past in that diorama view and an Ocarina of Time, either remaster or remake. I don't know. I'm not saying that's what they're going to do though, but that would be so cool. A Link to the Past and that diorama would be so sweet. That'd be so awesome. They probably not though, because they just came out with Peach's game, and I'm sure it's like the same team probably, and they couldn't bog them down with multiple games like that. So who knows? I'm sure we get a Zelda within the next couple years, but that'll be a remaster, a remake of something, whether it's Wind Waker, Ocarina, Majora's Mask, any of the ones that were handheld only, um, even like a Breath of the Wild upgrade. It could be anything, but I'm sure we'll get one, at least one. And then Metroid, we're gonna have to get a new Mario sometime. Um, yeah, I guess that's about it. Let me know what you guys think. What did you think of the reveal? Were there any surprises for you? Like I said, I wasn't real surprised. There weren't like a lot of tech details though, so I don't know anything about it really. I think the muted style of it is like the biggest surprise. I also think I guess one thing that's a surprise is that they put a giant 2 on it. Uh, I guess that's to separate it from the Switch so they don't have a Wii U problem. So, I mean, it's probably smart, but I just think that's interesting that people are going to have this dock on their console and it's just going to be 2. Nintendo Switch 2. But like I said, that's probably to avoid the Wii U problem for, grandparents and parents buying consoles. They don't accidentally just buy a Switch 1. Very clearly labeled, that's very easy to ask for. We want a Switch 2. Just like how people don't have problems going from PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4, this should be very simple for people. Yeah, okay. I think that's it. I'm going to call it here. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, feel free to subscribe. I don't do a ton of reacts, but I have this week. I reacted to this. I reacted to the Daredevil trailer. Talk about different audiences, huh? Daredevil and Mario Kart. And I reacted to, what is it, Blood of the Dawn Walker or something like that. Some from the Witcher 3 devs, that new game. So that was 3 reacts in 1 week for a channel that doesn't usually do reacts, but I love The Witcher 3, so I had to do that one. I love Daredevil, so I had to do that. And this is a brand new console. You should be excited. This is awesome. We're getting a new console. And as a video game fan, I am stoked about that. Hopefully you are too. Hopefully you've got some nostalgia brewing in your brain and some wonder fluttering in your heart, and you're stoked to see what all this can do. Even if it's not your main console, even if it's not going to be pushing 4K 60 path traced whatevers, and I love those games, but this can go along with that, right? You can have those games and these games can be super duper awesome. So hopefully you're as excited for it as I am, and hopefully, like I said, you like this video. If you did, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to comment down below. I always reply. What do YouTubers say? Like, subscribe, comment. Oh, I guess, yeah, like the video if you liked it. Duh. I guess you can do the notification bell. I mean, I do a video Monday through Friday every single day. I think that about covers my rigmarole. So I'm going to leave you with my patented generic exit, which is be excellent to each other and party on.